All right, hello everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with you for our nightly edition of the extended forecast here on KVUE Plus, YouTube Live, and all of our other streaming platforms. Nothing has changed since yesterday. There's still not a whole lot going on in this weather forecast. If I could sum it up in one phrase, I would say hot, but could be hotter. Mainly we're going to be in the upper 90s for the next 1 to 2 weeks, probably longer. I do have some triple digits in the forecast, especially around tomorrow and Friday. You know, a few days are going to reach up and hit the triple digits, but mainly we're going to be right at or even a little cooler than average for this time of the year. So again, hot, but could be hotter. All right, live view outside. This is actually a brand new Skycam of ours. We just got this online today. So this is St. Ed's. You can see we're looking north across the campus and then downhill towards downtown Austin. Again, it's just mostly sunny and hot outside. The numbers for today. So the airport today, and this is kind of the flip-flop of what we see a lot of times where Mayberry will be a degree or two warmer than the airport. The airport actually was hotter today, hit 100. 99 was the afternoon high at Mayberry today, which is, again, exactly average for this time of the year. Today's record is 105 from back in the very hot summer of 2009. Over the next 10 days, again, we'll just kind of get this out of the way, and then I actually went back today since we're so quiet. I've got a lot of numbers and statistics I want to show you, but we'll get the forecast out of the way. Again, a few little ups and downs here, but mainly just hot. 99 tomorrow. I do have 100 in the forecast now for Friday just because we overachieved a little bit today, but otherwise 97, 98, 99. Take your pick, and that will take us through now the 16th of this month. So that would now take us through the middle of this month and what's considered the hottest part of this month, without any crazy numbers. Again, it's going to be hot, but I was talking with Grace and Jordan about this earlier. You know, if we were to throw 106 on the 7-day forecast, I mean, it would stick out, but you wouldn't be like, no way. You know, you kind of expect that stuff this time of the year. Okay, so let's get into some numbers. I found this to be interesting. Summer 2025 so far, and we're talking about meteorological summers. That's June, July, August. Obviously, we're just now into August. The average temperature so far this summer has been 84.5. And when I say average, what that means is it is the average of the morning low and the afternoon high for each day, and then you combine that for the whole summer. So the average temperature has been 84.5. Now, based on how last month went, I think it'd be easy to be like, man, this has got to be like the coolest summer ever recorded in Austin. This has been crazy. And relative to our last couple of summers, yeah, it definitely feels like that. But look at this. Normal average temperature this far into the summer, so this does not include all the way through August, but through this part of August, through August 6th, would be 84.6. So we're basically at exactly average. And when I was looking at these numbers, the way it worked out, so think back to June. June was actually hot. June was about 1.8 degrees above average. July, obviously when we had the tragic flooding and all of the rain, was about 1.8 degrees below average. So we kind of ended out just canceling things out here. And even though it feels like this has been way, way cooler, it's actually been about average. Now, let me show you some of the hottest summers ever recorded in Austin. So remember, our average temperature so far through this summer is 84.5. The hottest summer ever recorded in Austin was the infamous summer of 2011, and the average temperature was about 5 degrees hotter than what we've had this summer. And again, 5 degrees, if you're saying, okay, well, yesterday was 97, today is 102, it doesn't seem like a crazy number, but 5 degrees on average hotter for the entire summer. That's a huge, huge difference. So 2011, 89.5. I'm sure you guys remember this. I definitely do. 2023 was not far behind at 89.4. I remember on those last few days where it was like coming down to the rounding, but it ended up being just slightly cooler than 2022. Another one I remember after the summer of 22 saying, well, I guess it could only get cooler for next summer. Well, it did not. It got hotter. 2009. Which we talked about, which was the record for today, and then 2018. So those are the 5 hottest summers ever recorded in Austin. And again, just another example of how we're hot, but it could certainly be worse. These were the numbers each day of August for August of 2011. So August 2011, the hottest summer ever recorded in Austin. August 2011, the hottest single month ever recorded in Austin. And look at this. We started the day 107, 107, 106, 107, or started the month 107, 107, 106, 107, 106, 104. Crazy. And then we got into this first full week of August. Again, you can see the coolest. We had one day, I guess, in 97. Maybe there was a little bit of rain or clouds or something going on that day. And then, look at this. So on the 26th, 103. On the 27th of August 2011, 110. On the 28th, 112. 112 is the hottest temperature ever recorded in Austin, with records going back to 1898. That's when it happened in 2011. 109, 105, 103. The hottest number we've seen around here recently, I believe since then, has been 110. That's happened a couple of times, actually. I think that happened in both 2023 and 2022. So we've had some numbers like this, but just a month where it's consistently like this is crazy. And that's what happened in August of 2011. So again, hot, but could be hotter. Live view outside on this Wednesday evening from our Zach Theater camera. Current numbers starting to cool down a little bit now that we're getting closer to sundown. 96 for Mabry. 96 is the current temperature at the Austin airport. San Marcos sitting at 97 right now. I've got 97 in Bastrop, LaGrange 93. The number's pretty manageable today over the Southern Hill Country. Fredericksburg 91, Johnson City 92, Blanco also at 92. Then you factor in the humidity, and we're not talking like a crazy heat index. I think I saw that the Houston area had a heat index of like 111 today. We don't have numbers like that, but it does feel like the triple digits, mainly lower triple digits along and east of I-35. And I'll show you these numbers for the next 5 days coming up here in a second. But the bottom line is air temperatures are mainly going to be in the upper 90s, but heat index values could be 104, 105 for some of the hottest locations. Satellite and radar, we have not had any rain today, and likewise, I think we pretty much stay dry this evening. Kind of the usual stuff. We've got some sea breeze showers and storms that brought some locally heavy rain over parts of the Houston metro. Those look unlikely to make it into our area, so Fayette County is theoretically possible you get a raindrop, but at this point, I'm pretty much willing to throw in the towel on our 10% rain chance for this evening. All right, tonight, the numbers for the overnights also going up a little bit. So 76 tonight, that's exactly average in Austin. Low 70s, not too bad. In the Hill Country, mid 70s, a little muggier as you go east. And then here's a closer look at the Austin Metro and the I-35 corridor. Kyle 73 tonight, Wimberley 72, Round Rock 75, we'll say about 75 in Leander tonight. Then as we heat things up going into the afternoon tomorrow, we've got 99 in the forecast for Austin, which is also exactly average. Bastrop 99, Giddings 98, Lockhart 99, San Marcos 100. So again, I do think some of the hottest pockets, like what happened at the airport today, will jump up and we'll hit 100, but most should be a little below. Mid to upper 90s in the Hill Country. Closer look at the I-35 corridor, Round Rock 99, Georgetown 98, Taylor 98, Pflugerville 99, Del Valle and Buda also around 99 tomorrow. Humidity, it's with us, and I was just walking out in the parking lot like, I mean, you can tell it's muggy. It's definitely not a dry heat, but it's not like super oppressive either. We're going to be mainly in that low edge of the tropical category for the next 7 days. So here's my updated heat index forecast. Again, it's hot. I'm not trying to downplay it, but these are relatively normal numbers for this time of the year. 103 tomorrow, 104 heat index Friday. We'll be in the lower triple digits Saturday, Sunday, and then going into early next week. So our forecast, just hot. The tropics, though, a little bit more active. Okay, so some updated numbers now. Here's kind of the whole view of the Atlantic Basin. We've got nothing in the Caribbean right now, nothing in the Gulf, but a few systems over the open Atlantic. So this one that we've been watching, this little weak wave, yesterday they upgraded this to a moderate chance of development. Now the odds are decreasing again, so 30%, and either way, even if that becomes something, it's going to kind of ride up the East Coast and then move out to sea, so that won't be a problem for anybody. Then this wave also getting a little bit more organized, so you can see it's got some more convection here over the main development region of the Atlantic. This one will meander up northwestward, and this one now has a 60% chance of development over the next 7 days, so this could become something. But based on the trajectory and the steering pattern, looks like that would probably recurve and head out to sea, and like that one probably wouldn't be a big factor for land either. Now we go into the extended tropical outlook, so this is more than 7 days from now, August 13th through the 19th, and there's two more areas. Another potential wave that could come off the African continent. And then here over the heart of the main development region, you see this red color, so that would be a greater than 40% chance of tropical development, so basically like a medium chance that something forms out here. And this is an area where obviously we need to watch it. And again, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but from here, if something developed here, it could cross over into the Caribbean. You know, of course, we watch that, and, you know, theoretically something from the Caribbean can move into the Gulf. If it's more northerly, then maybe this kind of approaches like Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, and they watch it Florida and the East Coast, or, you know, systems can cross over South Florida into the Gulf too. So we'll watch it again. Models are showing some sort of development is certainly possible. But again, this is more than a week from now, so it's impossible to say where exactly this will go. And I'll tell you the same thing that I said yesterday. I'm not looking at any data right now that is telling me big tropical issues in Texas right now. Again, I'm not saying go to sleep for the next 2 months and don't worry about it. You know, we still have a lot of hurricane season left, but nothing that I'm too worried about right now for us. Tonight, 76, mostly clear, dry night tonight. Then tomorrow, we'll say mostly sunny, just hot. 99 degrees is the forecast high for tomorrow. Then here's the 7-day. I already showed you the 10-day, but you get the idea. Sunny to mostly sunny. Could some of these days have a small rain chance over Fayette County? Yes, but I think it's less than 10%. So it's to the point where we're just going to drop it off the 7-day forecast. I do have 100 in the forecast Friday. And then from there on out, 97s, 98s. Could some of those days jump up again and hit 100? Sure. In fact, some of them probably will. But likewise, maybe a few of them are down a little bit cooler. It's just going to be at or a little below average for this time of the year for the next 7 to 14 days. All right, y'all have a good night. We're going to take a little bit of a break. And the next update from me will be KVUE News at 10 o'clock. We hope to see you there.